Welcome to another episode of Heat Check. We have a great episode lined up for you guys today, so just sit back and enjoy the ride. I am joined by
Aaron Jaffe, Ethan Dewald, Brandon LaRocco,
Dylan Wolfson, and Joey Bohley.
And I'm Abhishek Goel. Let's hit it. All right. So the first thing we're going to be talking about today is something close to home. I feel like we do a lot of things that are close to home these days, but quite literally our home here in the Berg, in the Seven Tribe 7, we are going to be talking about the dining situation here at the College of William & Mary. So, say what you want about Sodexo, but they're out there grinding every single day, and they're in Sadler, they're in Marketplace, they're in CAF, and we even get to use our dining dollars, in some very nice places around the Berg. So I just want to hear what your guys' thoughts are initially on, Sadler Center food. Anyone have any hot takes? Anyone have any opinions about Sadler?
I mean, less hot of a take, but I personally have had no real problems with Sadler food. I've had people complain, saying that it upsets their stomach. They've been in the bathroom all night. Ooh. Can't say I've ever had that problem happen with me before. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't call it the best food I've ever had, but
I mean, that would just be
a straight
that
up,
would just be sad.
That'd just be sad and a straight up lie. But so I mean, I'm not saying that it's by any stretch good, but I haven't really had as many complaints on my end. But I'm interested in hearing if other people have some really strong anti-Sadler
let's hear it.
resentment,
let's hear it.
I want to hear what makes it so bad, because I truly don't know.
I was a big Sadler hater last year, but honestly, I think they've improved a lot this year. They have more food options, which still aren't great, but that's just William & Mary food, to be honest. But yeah, I think it's improved a lot, and we live so close to Sadler now. I feel like I go there so much more than I did last year. Well, I definitely do.
Yeah.
And I've sort of learned to appreciate it more, I guess, especially late night. They've really stepped up their late night game, except for wing night.
Whoa. Okay.
Let's not cap too much.
Let's relax. The past 2 weeks have been kind of heavenly.
I do kind of fuck with those.
All right, let's talk about last week. Last week.
All right, I can't even cap. That was pretty good last Wednesday or whatever.
Let me explain the problem. I feel like there's an elephant in the room which Joey does not want to discuss. But basically, last week for wing night, there was a meme that was made in Swampy Memes about
too many heads.
Wing night, and then there ended up being a rare influx of people at wing night, which caused the lines to be OC, and then you just get less wings. It's a less enjoyable experience.
Yeah, there's a dichotomy of wing night where it's you're almost substituting quality of wings for quantity of people there.
Big time.
Sometimes wing night is just more about getting your quick wings and then waiting 10 minutes and having some really high quality wings.
For sure.
I mean, I would rather eat 80 trash wings than 6 good wings.
Interesting. I feel like whenever I go to wing night, I usually go for the buffalo wings. I do switch it up.
I go exclusively for the buffalo wings.
Buffalo takes up a high percentage of my wing intake.
Yeah.
It takes up a high percent of my total chicken intake, if I'm being honest.
But yeah, I gotta be honest, those buffalo wings slap. They really do.
See, I don't know why people have to advertise wing night, because now we just, like you said, I remember last year when we didn't know about wing night at first, and then the first time we went, it was pretty dead for compared to what it is now. And so
the word got out.
Yeah, and I guess the word keeps getting out because even all the freshmen know about it. It was the first wing night we went to. It was still really crowded, and I thought it was going to be dead. So I don't know who's out here snitching.
Yeah, here's the that's the problem. Really,
we could literally go in Swampy Memes and find out who's snitching, and we could run up on them.
Might have to send a hit out on you.
But yeah, so outside of wing night, which we are all fans of, I think that something worth noting is the Sadler situation. Just during the day, and I think that it's not bad. Every day, the the station, the main station that keeps rotating. That they usually do a good job. It's usually the same like pork, beef, chicken situation, whatever they got. But it's not bad stuff. The new addition this year from last year was the Mediterranean bowls, and you get falafels, you get they give you chicken or beef, you get your choice, and then they have like kind of like a kava bowl. It's tzatziki, cucumber.
They also have the smoothies too this year.
Smoothies is very
I have not yet participated.
Yeah, I haven't.
Really?
Very disappointed with the smoothies.
Me too.
But only like not with all of them, but I don't understand this need to have vegetables or kale in a smoothie. Like, when that is all that there is. Sometimes there'll be there's always two options. There's always, usually, like, some sort of juicer, healthy, whatever type shake that involves usually, like, beets or kale or some other disgusting green or vegetable type food.
Sure, yeah.
Which I personally find nasty. Like, I know there's a market out there for that, so I mean,
I was gonna say, like, I've
all
had
the power to you, but
I've had kale like smoothies before, and they aren't bad. I've had good smoothies and stuff.
but not at Sadler.
Yes, you see, that's the
Sadler,
thing. Yeah,
it literally just tastes like grass.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. If it was done well, then I would have less of a problem with it. But you gotta, like, I always go for normally the left option, which is like some sort of strawberry, banana, pineapple, some sort of fruit smoothie, and those are good. Like, I really don't have complaints about them. But when you go up there and there's like an apple smoothie, you take a sip and there's carrot in it, like straight up raw carrot. I'm like, this is disgusting. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times I think with the smoothie bar, because I've made a couple of trips over there. Yeah. What you see is something I hope that Sadler will take note of, which is that the green smoothies, usually there's a lot of them left out there, and a lot of them go untouched, but the fruit smoothies are in pretty high demand, so if I was running the operation, I'd probably spend more resources and time on the fruit smoothies than the vegetable ones, just because of the demand.
I will say this about just green smoothies in general. It takes like one kale leaf to turn an entire smoothie green. So, like, keep that in mind. Like, it literally could be like one leaf and the entire thing's green. That doesn't mean it's got like hella kale in it.
Sure.
Plus, what y'all got against kale?
I have nothing. I've been said.
I'll say I don't have anything against like kale in the first place, but kale. Just Sadler's kale smoothies, I think are. I mean, see, that's just why I don't. Are way over.
I don't even go there.
If they were like done well, and like I know there are certain products. Like I'm a huge fan of like the V8 Splash juices, which are like
no, those are good. No, those are good. No, they are good.
Those things.
They are really good.
They've got. I don't remember what the percentages were, but they've got like a ton of vegetables actually, like per unit.
Well, they also have a lot of sugar. That's the only problem.
That is true, but they taste really good, and I'm like, I can do this.
True.
So if they did something similar to that, where it's like, a green, like, because there are plenty of healthier smoothies that are like fruit smoothies with kale in them as like an added nutrient, and they taste great. So like, if you're gonna go with the healthy, like, let's throw a bunch of kale and stuff in it. Let's literally not just throw kale and yogurt into a smoothie. Usually, there you go.
Usually when you make a kale smoothie, you like put other stuff in it too, not just kale and like yogurt. So I mean, I'm pretty like Sadler. I appreciate the fact that they're trying to like try new things. Like the smoothie stuff is pretty cool. I haven't had one yet. Maybe one day I'll try like a strawberry banana smoothie. Yeah. But like, I guess my opinion is like kind of like narrow because I really only get like chicken sandwiches there, which those compared to last year are pretty ass. The first chicken sandwich I got this year, like I actually have it saved in my phone somewhere. It looked so sad, and like the fries that were with it looked so sad. And they also gave me a nice trip to the restroom that night. So Sadler has given me like 2 of those. So that's kind of why I don't like. I really liked Sadler last year. Like people always kind of joked about it. I was always fine going there, but like this year I'm like I just have to hope like my chicken sandwich isn't like about to make me regret it. Yeah,
true.
I just want to speak on one more thing about Sadler is with the introduction of the smoothie station, we saw the loss of the pasta station.
Exactly.
I mean, the pasta station wasn't always around, but when they did make dishes, those are like some of the best you could get in Sadler.
I do agree.
I agree with that.
Those, you just pour your soy sauce on there. You get whatever you want with your noodles.
Not the noodles. The pasta.
Oh, the pasta.
The pasta.
I mean, it was the same station too.
Yeah. They did have some Asian
They
food
do
there,
have. So what they did add this year, which I'm a fan of, is they have like. Sometimes they do this. They have like some kind of pasta dish next to like the pizza.
Yeah, it's just usually is not fresh or as fresh
true.
as they did when they had the full station.
For sure, yeah.
It still is open like sometimes. I haven't seen it open in the past like week or so, but it's still open like from time to time. And if you can catch it, then it's gold.
Yeah, it's just definitely not as frequent as it used to be.
Yeah. And another thing that I want to add, I guess it's kind of like a hidden gem of Sadler, but the simple servings area. Now, I got to be honest, some of the best food I've had from Sadler's has been from the simple servings. I've had like delicious pork with like flavor there. It was kind of like blown out of my mind. And then like it was like other stuff like they serve like beef and steak sometimes, like real potatoes and all that. So yeah, I feel like that's where the gas is. That's where the good stuff is.
Yeah, speaking of where the gas is, those gluten-free muffins in the back they
have
there?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Be wary. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I'd also like to thank the sandwich line at Sadler for being my crutch.
Yeah.
When there's absolutely nothing going in the rest of the building, the sandwich line is there for me to pick me up.
Yeah, it's also there for everybody else, so you wait 30 minutes to get a damn sandwich.
Yeah, I've honestly had nothing but issues with the sandwich line. First of all, there's no clear... You're talking about the thing where on the left side.
Yeah,
right?
no, I mean, it's not perfect.
Yeah, there's no, like, clear sort of, like... area where you form a line, so I kind of always just stand there awkwardly until somebody like notices me and is like, "Oh, can I help you?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me get this," and then they take forever to make it, which is like, yeah, that's whatever. Like, I can't get mad at them for that, but I don't know. It feels too chaotic over there.
I also noticed that like the people behind the sandwich line half the time don't even know. It's like, okay, so I guess I need to give more background information leading up before what I'm about to say. So they put, for those, I don't know how you wouldn't notice this, but for anyone that may be, new to William & Mary this year, doesn't know this, those TV monitors in Sadler were not there last year. That is a new addition.
It's a great addition.
It's a great addition in my opinion.
Okay. Except,
I think it.
What I think he's about to say.
I think they're okay. I think they're like, I like the idea of it. As far as whether or not they're actually a benefit yet, I'm not entirely sure. But half the times, the ladies back there have no idea what's on the board. So you'll be like, you'll walk by as soon as you walk in and go, "Oh man, that sandwich looks good." Like the pastrami sandwich or whatever. Like, yeah, I want one of those. You go up to the counter and you'll be like, "I'd like the pastrami biggie or something, please." And they kind of just look at me like with a blank stare, and then they have to like they literally walk out of the line, look at the screen, and then come back, and then they just like basically build it from scratch. I'm like, do you not have like, if someone asks for that, then put that together.
I too have encountered this problem.
I have also encountered that problem.
And it's like, maybe, and this may be this may be like being slightly petty, but I know I was making a sandwich at one point, and I literally just asked for like some meat and cheese, like first, figuring like, okay, then she'll pass it on to the other person and I can do my vegetables. And she literally was like, and I finished my order, and then she's like, "Would you like that toasted?" And yes. So she threw it straight in the toaster. I was like, okay. I mean, I guess maybe like she'll put on vegetables afterwards. But then she like put it together, cut it up, and gave it to me and sent me on my way. So I literally just had like turkey and cheese toasted with nothing else on it, no sauce or anything. So, maybe that was my fault, but also like
a little miscommunication.
I feel like there should be a little bit more communication there. Like, would you like some vegetables with this? But I mean,
make too much sense.
But like, to me, where Sadler shines is like the ladies that swipe your card. They're like heavenly.
They put in so much work.
Except that one dude.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Yeah, come on, man. You gotta show
I love that
it.
man. He's always on the grind. Like on, I've seen him play like Bejeweled on his phone. I respect it.
Yeah,
he's just trying to get his money.
But it's just like, I can tell he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, good lord. But yeah, the ladies that swipe the card, they're the best. There's this like, I mean, I don't know. There's this one lady that that works like behind like where the chicken sandwiches are. Every time I roll up, she like doesn't say hi to me or anything like that. Like I always have to like initiate conversation, and I always like, I don't know, like I always feel like I'm like a burden. So I don't know, some of the workers there need to straighten up, or I'm telling the manager. But pretty much everybody there is pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Last note I will say about Sadler. Oh no, first you, Aaron. Please.
Yeah, the late night staff is like extra nice.
Oh, they are, definitely.
Yeah, there's the one guy. He always like is blasting his music and like
the go-go
dude.
dude.
Such a good move.
The go-go dude.
Yeah.
They're also bumping Go-Go at Cozy
At
one
Cozy,
time.
yeah.
That show's good.
Yeah, no, I love that guy so much. Like, and he's always like smiling. He's like asking how my day is. I'm like, yeah, good.
He's always
good.
like, hey.
And he makes
like,
the best food too.
He's like
I
throwing
haven't
it
been to
down
a bad
back
late
there.
night yet.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, we have a favorite in the wing night staff.
Yeah, big
But
time.
just keep it at that. Just keep it at that.
I think that Sadler also, like a noticeable improvement, I think, from last year was the ice cream.
Oh,
Definitely
so much
huge
more
improvement.
consistent.
So
Yeah,
much
for
more
sure.
consistent. It's not like last year. I
not
think
milk.
half the time I went back there, it was either liquid or turned off. And I don't think I've encountered any problems this year at all. I think they have better toppings available. They now have that whipped cream topping thing.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Which is, huge step up. And I think they've stepped up the game with their desserts too. Like,
yeah, a lot more variety.
Seems good.
There's a huge variety, and it's not like day to day. It's not, because last year there were like cookies, some sort of Rice Krispie or cereal treat thing, and then a cupcake of some sort.
Yeah.
This year you've got a huge variety, and I've never looked over there and been like, wow, there's nothing on the dessert row, which, huge adjustment over last year, where I feel like it was kind of hit or miss. Some days it was great, other days
Yeah, also to touch on Marketplace, I've gone there a few times this year. It's the same. It hasn't changed at all.
Except they have pizza now.
Yeah.
Don't eat the pizza at Marketplace.
See, I wasn't about it.
Just, yeah.
They have more different kinds of ice cream now, though. They have like 6 different kinds of ice cream.
Oh, yeah, they got new flavors. They did
Peas
do
and
that.
cream at Marketplace. Blue Bunny, let's go.
I like the mint chip.
Yes, mint chip. Definitely.
I'm still a big rainbow sherbet guy.
Sadler needs to like have those whoopie pies like on the daily. Those things are so good at the dessert area. Just a suggestion.
Last thing I'll say about Sadler is that is Sadler on the weekend, and I think that okay, hear me out. I think that Sadler does one thing really well on the weekends, and no more, but no less. Breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
darn.
Oh,
That's a different thing.
Sunday evenings, Asian Station.
Friday evenings.
Friday evenings are also open. I feel like they're closed on Fridays.
I think Friday evenings was the one last week where there was the line that stretched into the area for those dumplings.
the dumpling, yeah. But yeah, so the thing that besides the Asian Station Sunday nights, I feel like the weekend like breakfast, like they always like.
I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah, they're always good. It's always good, and I like the sausages that you get, and like if you haven't enough time to wait for an omelet, it's good stuff. But yeah, that's just how I feel. Yeah,
Aaron, would you like for
Aaron is not. He's not a fan.
I'm so sick of Sadler breakfast.
Oh no!
Like, I love my eggs, but by God, Sadler.
You gotta get the omelet, man.
I've never been there when the omelet station is open because I wake up so late on the weekends. It's like, I always I'm up by like maybe 9:45, and then I'm like, oh, I can't get to Sadler and get my omelet in 15 minutes. Crazy if you think I can do that. But the eggs, it's like a tray of like cake. Cake eggs, that's what I call it.
Well, I feel like the eggs they use on the omelet and those eggs are probably the same. They just use the liquid.
Similar, but I don't know.
Well, no, they're probably the same. They just use the liquid eggs.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just like
the way that they
it's because the legs have been the eggs they give you like with all the breakfast stuff. Those probably been sitting out a while and stuff like that. That's usually
that's true. Also, like the pancakes are always like really dry.
Oh, I never get those.
No,
those are bad. The bacon is good.
The biscuits suck all the moisture out of it.
That's why you got to get the gravy with the biscuits.
Well, no.
And then they also do bagels pretty well, I think. Hey, anyone gotten bagels at Sadler?
Nah.
See, they're just like bagels from a bag, bro.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
they're
that
not
deep.
very.
I mean, yeah, it's whatever.
The sandwiches look really good. They're the bagel sandwiches they have there. I haven't got one yet.
But
I do too.
I completely forget that there are breakfast sandwiches over at the sandwich place.
Yeah, David always gets them.
Pretty good.
No, yeah. I mean, Marketplace breakfast is also the
Oh,
best.
Marketplace
yeah, that's
breakfast.
definitely a lead.
No,
I'll
but the
be.
problem is that it isn't there on the weekend.
Yeah, and it's
the only
not.
problem.
It's also not there after like 9:45
Yeah,
on
that
any
too.
other
That
day.
too.
It's like they know that it's too good, and they have to hide it from
Yeah,
us.
for sure.
Yeah, I'll be put me on to Marketplace breakfast last year.
Of course, yes.
On a walk to class one day, and that was like a change in my life.
Yeah, man,
being
yeah.
introduced to that. That's probably like the best food they have at this college. If
Yeah,
I'm being
for sure.
honest.
That's the thing I missed the most from last year because last year we lived so close to Marketplace, and now I don't go there as often. But yeah,
I haven't been there once since last year.
Yeah.
I have to try it out again for breakfast.
And then off-campus dining situations.
Yeah, so this is sort of slightly off topic, but
Go for
you
it.
know the place right next to Chick-fil-A that's been empty for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard all these rumors.
Sure.
Oh, they're gonna build like insomnia cookies. Oh, they're gonna do some kind of coffee shop. I don't know. I've heard everything in the book.
Yeah.
But what they're doing is an entrepreneurship center.
What
You
is
guys
that?
didn't know.
Yeah, well, what I heard is that they were actually like, I think there was going to be an entrepreneurship center for years and had that plan, but they didn't tell anyone on the rest of the campus. So like, there were food places offering to take that real estate, but really like the whole time it was the entrepreneurship
Oh,
center.
wow.
Hey, you know what? Oishi opened back up though.
Oishi is good stuff.
Yes.
Sadly, we can't get anything from our dining dollars
That's
from
true.
there, but it is
Oishi,
really good.
I'm
I gotta
honestly
say.
not a big fan of Oishi.
But I gotta say,
I'm not
though,
either.
the joint
I
is
don't
good.
Aaron
like
has
either.
so many cold takes.
Is that
I know.
Is that the?
Wait, hold on.
I was just gonna say, is that the place with where they do the hibachi in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
place isn't that good.
Yeah, I don't think it's very good. It's very overpriced. Like,
It's
honestly,
a
I
lot.
think
mean,
I'm used to like
Yeah.
a lot of good sort of like Asian restaurants near my house, so
Mm-hmm.
I might be spoiled a little bit. But yeah, like the ramen is always like way undercooked. The
I
broth
haven't
is like
gotten the
all
ramen
dark, and
since-
I like
yeah.
my nice clear oily broth. And like theirs is just like it's
Yeah.
just-
No,
As far as like cheap food off campus though, for like the distance that it is, I think it's kind of hard. I mean, best case scenario would be dining dollars. Obviously, like it's hard to beat Chick-fil-A with the dining dollars option, but I think that for dining options near us, which I mean, even if you go like, I guess the closest to that besides like Wawa would be like on Dog Street and like the cheese shop and things. Those are great. That's good food, but not cheap.
Cheese shop is really overrated. If I'm being
Cheese shop
honest.
is
I-
Yeah,
overhyped.
it's
Strongly
overrated.
disagree.
Also, I was just gonna.
Disagree?
Yeah, I love cheese.
I'll get to
shop.
that. I'll get to that in one
Right.
sec. Also, like our go-to this year has been Wawa because it's literally walking right across the street, and you can pay with your Express or is it Flex?
Express.
I don't. Are
Express.
they the same thing? I don't remember.
No,
The Flex is dining
Flex is
dollars.
dining
Okay, Flex.
dollars.
Okay, you can pay with Express, so that's like mommy, daddy laundry money. And then also their food's pretty cheap and it's like really good. So, and yeah, Chick-fil-A is like the same as last year. I mean, it's good. Surprise.
They added the frosted coffee, which I'm.
When are they dropping
coffee.
that
or
Mac?
I don't remember what. Maybe it's not frosted coffee, but it's like the ice cream coffee. Like
The
shake.
frosted lemonade.
No,
No,
it's
they
like
had that
just
last
frosted
year.
coffee. It's
Yeah.
like frosted
It is
coffee.
frosted
It's
coffee.
really good. Highly
Also,
recommended. If you
when are
haven't
they-
gotten it already.
When are they dropping that mac and cheese at Chick-fil-A?
I don't
That's
know
a
if they're
good
going to do that
question.
here
Yeah.
because they've
Yeah.
never had the full menu at our local
No.
Chick-fil-A. They don't do that.
When they're able to take gift cards in the app. That's when-
Yeah, they
So
don't
then
do
we
that.
just won't
That's-
get mac and cheese. Is what you're
That's when
telling
we'll
me.
get mac and cheese.
They do have all like the secret shakes though. Like there's the peach one over the summer, which like nobody knew about. They did not advertise it.
Damn.
But like my friend who worked at Chick-fil-A was like, "Yo, try this," and I did, and it smacked. And then there's
Wow.
the
Peach one's so good.
key lime pie shake before. No, that was disgusting.
Oh god,
I hated
love
that so much. Like I asked if they had it, and they're like, "Oh yeah," like nobody ever gets it, and like not only is it hidden, but also nobody will buy it twice.
So Joe, you like the cheese shop?
I do.
That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, I don't think it's overrated. I think it's overpriced.
Yes.
And
Well,
I think
Okay,
what
so
we
here's
need-
my take. What do you get there? The sandwich?
Yeah. What the fuck else you get?
What? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure
You
out
think
how
I'm gonna
you.
be just chilling out
I'm
in the
trying to figure
wine
out how you
cellar with all the
enjoy it.
older gentlemen?
I'm just trying to figure out how you enjoy the cheese shop because those sandwiches, What do you get the grilled cheese sandwich, or do you get like yeah? So it's just a lame ass piece of bread with like whatever you get on the inside, and none of it's like
quality
warmed.
deli bread, my friend.
It is.
It's not. It's not that
bro.
high quality.
It's really lame.
It's really not lame.
Like, you wait. Not only do you wait like forever for it, you also like are nothing but disappointed when you eat it.
I've never been disappointed when I had cheese.
The chips are the best part about that.
The chips,
meal.
yeah,
and
chips,
there's like the variety of sodas. They
I
have.
honestly would eat there way more often if it wasn't so expensive. That's the
I'll
problem.
have to
the
take a
price.
visit. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the
If you
problem
guys
with me.
are
Is it's
waiting.
just expensive. Like if it wasn't
I would
if it
rather.
wasn't a tourist area, it probably would be a much better restaurant.
I mean, I just want to share an anecdote. Is a couple of weeks ago, I went to the cheese shop.
Mm-hmm.
They were advertising their sandwich of the day.
Sure.
It was like a buffalo chicken sandwich of
Wow,
some sort,
sounds
and
good.
then it was just regular chicken with like a
no.
little buffalo seasoning on it.
Oh,
It was
no.
basically just regular chicken, and it's like, I mean, at a I expect stuff like that at places, but like when like you're the cheese shop and you're supposed to be like famous
It's
and
not
stuff,
like it's like some random ass.
yeah,
cheese
like
shop
you're not
in
supposed to slip
Williamsburg.
up like that. Like I feel like you guys are held to a higher standard than that.
That was like that's that white people spicy sandwich. That's the spicy chicken sandwich. Like,
Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know that. I guess I'll have to visit again before I keep talking smack about it. But I have not had I wasn't blown off my feet in any regard by the cheese shop.
now we went a couple times too.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so besides that, I mean, Chick-fil-A is kind of the king off-campus dining option. So yeah, good stuff, guys. Any other last comments about the food here?
Calf is still ass.
Calf, yeah, for sure,
Not much to say about that.
for sure. But yeah, so catch us at Chick-fil-A. Probably catch us at the local Wah,
Yeah,
because you gotta have a Wawa.
that was so stupid. They said that.
All right. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is looking at the weirdest sports we've encountered, in our 19 or so years of living so far. And I think that we all kind of last week, we talked about what a sport is and what counts as a sport, but we didn't really get into these wacky, weird kind of sports that we see every once in a while on ESPN 8 the Ocho, or any other like some random Facebook
Welcome back,
video.
the Ocho.
Welcome back. It's all I mean, I always watch the Ocho. You always gotta watch dodgeball once a year and all that, right?
Stone skipping.
Yeah, for sure. all the awesome sports. But we've all looked up a sport, and we thought we'd discuss them and learn a little bit more about them, and we thought that'd be cool to share. So does anyone want to share their sport first?
I think you should go first.
Me? Okay. I love the sport that I'm about to present. I've played it a total of 2 times, I believe, but I have a strong desire to play it more. The sport is called kabaddi. So for those of you who don't know what kabaddi is,
What is kabaddi, Abby?
so I guess the best way to describe it on a very like basic level is it's like a game of tag. It's like a professional game of tag. So you have 2 teams of 7 each, and you're in a court that it's not like quite as big as like it's like you
like
can
a
play as a
court.
gym. Yeah, it's just a court. Yeah, like 12 feet by 12 feet or whatever. Draw a line in the middle, and every team. So I say it's tag because there's a line in the middle, and there's one person on each team that's the raider, and the raider is the person who basically takes your turn for you. So the way you score points is you cross the line and you try to tag as many people on the opposing team as possible. And of course the people on the other team are trying to avoid being tagged and whatnot. But if you can tag as many people as possible and then return to your side, then you get however many points you get for tagging people. Now, the catch is, one of the many catches to this game is the raider, as soon as he crosses the line, he needs to continuously and repeatedly say the word kabaddi without breathing or stopping or skipping it at all. He just needs to be able to say kabaddi, 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 and he can't stumble or anything like that. Like if he missays it or he takes a breath, or he takes too long between it, then he has to go back to his own side and he gets no points, which I think is hilarious. I haven't heard of like a single sport where talking is part of the sport.
Yeah, it's true.
True. So it's tagged that way, and the other aspect is if the raider crosses the line and tries to tag people, but he is not able to return to his side, the other team is allowed. What I mean by that, the other team is allowed to prevent him from getting back to his side. Then the other team kind of like doesn't surrender any points, and then it's their turn. So it's kind of weird. Like you get 2 points, so you get 1 point for each person hit, and you get 2 points if you are able to stop the person with only 3 people. If you're able to stop the raider with only 3 of your own teammates. But the danger with going for the raider is that what if you aren't able to stop him? Then he can tag you easily because you tried and he returned to his side. So there's a little bit of strategy involved.
How are you supposed to stop him? Do you just like?
Yeah, you like.
Do you just like have to stop him from getting over before he runs out of breath, basically? Like.
Yeah, so he can run out of breath, and you can. What is it? So there are like rules on like how you can like stop him. Yeah, so like you can like grab him, but you can't like grab a hair and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. Like you can only grab him like by like arms and legs and stuff. So
I've seen Kabaddi played a few times.
Sure.
And so is that like what they're doing when they're like all holding arms and like running around together?
Yeah,
it's, like,
because
trying to stop them
that's
from
like
getting back?
the optimal strategy, I guess, to like if the player comes in towards a U-shaped or like a curved
shape. They're trying to like, box him in, basically?
Yeah, they're trying to box him in, and then the people from the outside can like go around and try to stop him, and then it becomes a group effort. So ideally, if you're going to go to stop the raider, you probably need more than 3 people.
Yeah.
So creating that barricade, that wall, to draw the raider in before he goes back is, crucial in stopping him from returning to his side.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there are more rules like whether a player can be revived or not. And I guess you win when you get like a certain amount of points, or you get a bonus when you get every single person on the other team, and that's one bonus. And you get another bonus if you get people and they are not able to be revived, so they've already been tagged out twice. But yeah, it's a pretty wacky sport. It's popular in like the Asian region. It's very popular in India.
I think Thailand is
Thailand
big
is
too.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's something that like you just never see. Like I've never seen Kabaddi on TV.
I saw it on the Ocho.
So they have it on the Ocho. Yeah. So yeah. Besides that, not too much. But so there's so much strategy with like the anti-raiders and the stopping and how you go about doing that. But at the end of the day, it's just tag.
True.
Yeah. So that's Kabaddi, and I think the best part is just listening to the raiders yell Kabaddi, 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 Kabaddi. Yeah. They take a deep breath. They take a deep breath and they go for it. But yeah, that's.
Imagine trying to be an announcer for a Kabaddi match.
Oh,
and he's crossing the line.
Yeah,
and he's yelling Kabaddi, 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 Kabaddi.
That'd be amazing.
I guess I'll go next.
Yeah.
So my sport is camel jumping.
Camel jumping,
which is pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. It originated in the deserts of Yemen, and it is played professionally or at any other level by the Zaronic desert tribesmen. So it's like only like a small group of dudes that be like jumping over camels and shit.
Organized.
And it's been played since ancient times by this group of people. And originally, this says it originated as a challenge between two Zaronic tribesmen. So I guess they were like, I don't know, fighting over a goat or something. And they were like, all right. or they were fighting over a camel, and they're like, well, I could probably jump. If I can jump over this camel, like, then I get it. And then they, like, both jumped over the camel. So they're like, all right, let's just keep adding camels. And then the winner gets the camels. Like,
So they have them like horizontally, right?
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
stack
No,
them.
they're not stacked on top of
That's
each other.
They're not freak athletes.
No, it's like
So
Just-
is it like the long jump? But with
I mean,
camels?
kinda. So the objective of the sport is to clean jump a group of camels that are stacked together horizontally. So like think Evel Knievel like jumping over buses on his motorcycle. Like that's what this is like.
So they're just like running and jumping over these?
Yes, there's like so you compete barefoot, and it's not your jump is invalid if any part of your body touches any of the camels. It's like you got to jump clean over them hoes. You compete barefoot, and then they wear like their traditional attire, which it looks like is like some robes and stuff like that. So you start from a distance and sprint towards the camel, and you leap off this like 1 foot mound that's made of mud as kind of just like a launching pad, and you only get one try to you only get one jump.
Wow.
So, like, you better make it good. And then the person who clears the most number of camels is declared as the winner and rewarded with a cash prize.
Cash prize.
Yeah.
So this is the what tribe was it again? It was the
Zeranik.
the Zeranik. So they play for money.
I guess they'd
Wow.
be playing from home.
So I see a slight issue with this. Is there like a regulation camel or like?
Nah, bro, it's just camels. It's not
Like
that deep.
whatever they got on deck.
I guess if they're like competing, then they're jumping over the same size.
Right.
Camel.
I think that's
But
basically the.
This would be hard
the
to like
idea.
train for. You don't know what camels
Well,
are going to be
so,
jumping on game day.
Apparently, they train year round to keep them prepared for competitions.
Oh wow.
The camel jumpers prepare like
Yeah, bro, you
train-
gotta run and jump in order to be able to get up
Sure,
at camels.
sure.
And there's like no fixed schedule, so like if there's a wedding or something, they might have like a camel jumping competition like after the wedding, like in the reception or whatever.
So tough.
And they also do it like during festivals. And then there's also other camel related sports such as camel wrestling and camel racing.
Yeah, I have to think there's got to be a decent amount of injuries from camel jumping.
I mean, I would imagine that ACLs and Achilles probably snap on the reg.
So like, what's
Maybe
the
they
record?
don't though, because they're just so used to it.
I don't know what the record is. I don't know if there's like
I've
camel
no
jump,
recorded.
That'd be like, I mean, what if you had to guess? My guess, because considering these are like as talented and unique as these people may be, they're still humans.
They are
Yeah.
still humans.
So I've got to say, like, if it's close to 10, I would be.
There's no way in
amazed.
hell.
Alright,
It's
so,
gotta be
like,
5.
How long is like
maybe.
the longest long jump? That's probably a good place to start.
Isn't that like
It's
10,
okay. The world record
Hey,
is
just check, like, camel jump
29,
reference.
29 feet and 4 inches by Mike Powell in 1991 is the world record for the long jump.
But that's like straight out, not up.
Yeah, that's the thing. But also how wide is a camel?
You mean how tall?
4 feet?
Right?
Nah, bro. I'm starting with how wide it is.
Well, they're pretty.
Oh, okay, just for distance.
They're pretty chunky.
I don't know.
They're
Yeah.
pretty tall too. So like, I don't even.
Yeah.
You probably couldn't
I think
jump over
height
more
would
than
be an
3. Really,
I'm thinking
I
like
mean,
4 or 5
Dude,
is
yeah,
like.
like-
So they lie the camels down on the floor, right?
Nah, bro. They're standing up.
They're standing. That's insane.
Yeah, they're standing
Oh,
up.
I thought you were kidding.
No, they're actually
Oh
standing up.
shit!
Yeah, it's
I
like
didn't even get past one. But
I
I don't think
don't know. I don't think I
personally.
could jump over one camel. This is why they practice.
That's insane.
how do you practice that? Do you just like take your camel and just be
Yeah.
like, all right, stay.
Yeah, I guess.
Jump over.
There's a
wait.
video.
I don't know how you train camels. I don't
It's
know.
not a
You just put them
dog.
wherever they just chill.
Oh, here we go.
Just get
They
its
usually
leash.
jump between 4 to 6 camels. Though the height of the ramp,
Sick.
though the height of the ramp and the height of the camel would vary.
So there's a ramp.
Yeah, it's like the
Okay.
little mound.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Mud John.
Who's got the next sport?
All right. So after to follow that,
I don't know if you can.
I mean, I'll try my best. I don't know if you are familiar with the sport of chess boxing.
Chess boxing.
Bro,
Here's
chess
a
boxing
sport
is
for you.
insane.
I'm just a source of reference. I'm using a casino.org blog from Kevin Hart that was posted 2 years ago. So if anything that I say is incorrect, blame Kevin and not myself. Okay, so you might be asking, what is chess boxing? I mean, I feel like the name explains most of it, but I mean it's a merge of the game of chess, which is a very mental game. You know, you think Brainiac type competition, and then also the physical brawn type of boxing. So it
Also
combines them
mental
together.
game, concussions.
Yeah. So basically the way they compete is that there's multiple rounds like a boxing match, and there's 2 ways to win. So either you can knock out your opponent in the boxing portion, or you can get a checkmate in the chess portion, and basically you alternate between them. So there's like different time limits for each. So there's 1 round of boxing for this time period, and then you go straight into chess, and then you just go. It goes between them. So pretty much like when you're boxing, you're trying to wear out your opponent mentally. Like pretty much like you're trying to beat them so bad that you give them CTE, and then they don't know how to. They don't know what a knight does anymore after that point.
So you're getting dumber and dumber after each. As
in
the
a way,
game goes on, you're getting dumber and dumber.
Yeah,
sounds like that's the goal.
Yeah. So there's a lot. This is a crazy sport.
Here's one of my questions. So, there's so many questions, guys. So after the boxing portion, when you return to the chess, does it commence just like a normal, like, professional chess game?
Well, yeah, I mean,
like, is there like a timer and everything?
Yeah, there's a timer, so you can't just like you can't just stand at the chessboard. Like if you pass a time limit and you still haven't made a move, that's a way to lose. So there's 2 ways to lose actually in the chess portion. You either get a checkmated by your opponent, or you don't make the time limit, in which case you lose. So you have to move really quickly with the chess portion. And a lot of it's just about. It's less about how good you are at chess and boxing as much as about how can you handle the stressful situation that you're thrown into.
Well, how much time do they have when they go from boxing to chess?
You see, Kevin didn't put a time limit in here, so
but because you assume when they box, they have boxing gloves, right?
Yeah. No, they have all the gear.
There has to be enough time to like take the gloves off to like move.
I mean,
the chess
how long does it take you?
Well, pretty much like. So yeah, I mean, like there. I can show you this picture right here. It's not going to do anything for our listeners, just like Joey's video, but it'll be quick. I just want to show you what it looks like, so you can see the picture in the middle. Like they're pretty much in boxing gear playing chess.
So the picture depicted the chess boxers. Let me refer to them as their proper name. The chess boxers inside the boxing ring with a chessboard sitting down. So that means that there must be like. Time. Like,
there's time to set up the chess and everything, but I mean, it's all continuous. The chess game. It's not like after each round is a new chess game. It's a continuous game of chess.
Same game of chess.
Yeah. For sure.
That's awesome. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, just to say other things like about it, it's very It's most popular in Europe, especially Germany.
Seems like a German kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's where it originated. It originated in 2003, so it's a pretty new sport. In general, there's a lot of training for it, and you basically it's not like they don't just let anyone do chess boxing. Like you have to have like an accolades in both boxing and chess, because obviously it's very dangerous to just let if like the best chess player in the world is like I want to try this, and then just like gets knocked out in like the first round, like
Bobby Fischer
we can't be having that happening.
I mean, I really think that the popularity of chess boxing is kind of just limited by like how many dudes you know that are playing chess and boxing at a very high level.
That is true. That is a limitation.
Like it kind of limits itself in terms of popularity.
Yeah, I would say like there's not really you can't just like with other sports that are similar, like there's crossover potential, but pretty much if you're going to be a chess boxer, you have to train to be a chess boxer. Yeah. You can't just be I mean, I guess there's occasions where like someone's good at chess and you're like, you know what, let me start working out and stuff like that. But usually
the easier thing would be to be a boxer and then learn chess.
I would have to disagree with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
interesting.
I guess some people pick it up easier, but I think like to be a good chess player, like to the level of like professional chess players, like those are people that have been playing chess probably multiple hours a day for pretty much their entire life. So I feel like it is doable to like be good at boxing and then pick up chess. I feel like you're more likely to learn chess as a younger person and just like continue playing as you get older, and then when you
just
get
keep
big
that body
enough,
fit, bro. Yeah,
keep fit, and then get into boxing. To like, because it's not saying that you have to be like a professional boxer before you can do this. You just have to have like I don't know what the proper word I'm looking for here is. I guess like the accolades or at least a background, so that you understand the rules and you've taken hits in the ring, so you're not just some fresh noob thrown out there to get like pounded by another professional.
Yeah, no, just to get you guys well versed in like the highest celebrities in the chess boxing world. I have a couple here.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Russia has a former world champion known as Nikolai the Chairman Sajin.
The Chairman? That's a
his nickname is the Chairman. If you guys know Tiger Tad Tihomir Tichko, he's Bulgarian. He's another former world chess boxing champion.
Y'all can start calling me the Chairman now.
Yeah, and then Tim Woolger is a British winner of the championship. So they've got Wikipedia pages, so they're pretty big.
Wow, that's awesome.
I mean, Will hasn't been deleted from his high school's Wikipedia page yet.
True. Oh, that's pretty high.
Yeah, maybe it's because I actually linked a reference this time.
Nice. So what about the next sports? We got?
I'm glad you asked. Nope. Yeah. Okay. So I found out about this wonderful sport / athletic performance today at approximately 5:30. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's called extreme ironing. I mean, people just take ironing boards in absurd locations and they, iron their clothes.
Really?
Like, some people go, deep sea diving and they'll iron their clothes down there.
What? In the ocean?
Yeah. There's somebody actually.
Plug it in, though.
I didn't really think of that. I feel like, I guess I don't know. Maybe they have some handheld ones or something.
Sure. I'm sure they do.
Something like that.
Like some people go in the mountains and stuff like that and iron them.
So you bring your whole ironing setup.
Yeah, just where you go. The guy that actually, started it in 1980 would just walk around with an ironing board in his back of his car, and just when he saw some weird location that he could make people turn their heads at, on top of a telephone booth, he would just walk out of his car and just go on top of it and iron. So people have went into some pretty wacky locations. It's basically everybody just trying to one up each other. The planking challenge, where people would be planking on the top of on the ledge of a skyscraper or something. It's pretty much like that, but with ironing. So yeah, pretty crazy. I feel like this is a sport that I could get into. I like to iron. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I love sky. Maybe I could do go skydiving and iron. This guy actually did a marathon, and he wore an ironing board on his back, and when he was running the marathon, he was ironing his clothes. So
while he was running,
that might be my favorite one. And that's
I got nothing better to do.
I mean,
it's a sport, Joe. You gotta respect. I don't know
if that's really a sport, dog.
I don't know.
I think it's a sport.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds
sorry,
like
buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Why don't you tell it to the professional ironers? But yeah, that's extreme ironing.
Wow,
so thank you
awesome.
for my TED Talk.
What's the next one we got?
All right. So we've reached that wonderful time of the year where eventually it's going to start getting a little bit more chilly as the breezes start coming in. It's going to feel less like summer, more like fall. Leaves are going to start turning colors.
What is this, a kid's book?
We've gotten to the point where pumpkin spice has now entered every coffee shop around us.
Sure.
So, on that note of pumpkin spice, I would like to introduce to you pumpkin chucking. For those of you that are
the pumpkin chunking.
The pumpkin chunking. For those of you that are not familiar with this,
just everybody.
I don't even know what to call this.
Pumpkin chucking.
It is the sport of hurling or chucking a pumpkin solely by mechanical means for distance.
I don't know if that's really a sport.
They can
Why you gotta?
The devices that you can use to throw said pumpkins include slingshots, catapults, centrifugals, trebuchets, and pneumatic cannons.
Wow.
What did you just say?
I don't know how to pronounce this
What is
word,
it?
and I'm not afraid.
I think the
Centrifugal.
it's
Centrifugal.
just spins
Yeah,
it
it's
and then it
spin-
releases
Okay.
it at a certain point.
Centrifuge.
Well, no, that's a centrifuge.
Okay. Sorry, I read the
Hello,
wrong
obviously
one.
you haven't taken a chem class in your life.
True.
I'm not well versed in the pumpkin.
So
Pumpkin
there are
chucking.
there are formal and informal I'm going to refer to this for the rest of the talk as Punkin' Chunkin', as it is most commonly known as
PC.
for the rhyming goofiness of it. There are formal and informal competitions throughout the United States in the autumn. We're getting to about the time when these competitions are going to start. They happen normally early to mid-October and continue pretty much through the month of October.
Sure.
There is actually a World Championship Pumpkin Chunkin' Association that actually exists. And they hold, there's a European Championship that is held in Belgium. It's been held there every year since 2004. And there's also one that happens every year, held annually in November, actually. So it's a little bit on the later side. But that's held in Delaware every single year. And the Guinness World Record shot is held by a pneumatic cannon dubbed Big 10-inch. Who launched a pumpkin a distance of 5,543.
I'm not a cannon.
5,545.43 feet.
Bro, you tell me you're sure these pumpkins a couple of miles? Like, what?
And that was in Utah. And
I guess I got nothing better to do in Utah.
And then in New Hampshire, the previous world record was launched in New Hampshire, and that was at 4,694.68 feet.
What?
And that was in Delaware. The captain of that shot was from New Hampshire, but that was at the competition in Delaware that's held yearly. And that is the longest shot in the event history. The difference between like Utah and the Delaware distances, they think has to do with like air density and the dry air versus humid air out west versus out east. So it's just interesting.
Do you know what the mechanism of pumpkin chucking was in those cases? Was it a slingshot? Was it a?
Both were cannons.
They're both cannons.
Pneumatic cannons.
Wow.
That's
pretty sick.
So I was curious. I was living in I used to live up in New England in Massachusetts, and I heard about this competition. I'd see videos of it all the time. It was a dream of mine at one point to go see one of these events. And you've got to just look up the pictures of these things and watch some YouTube videos. There are several hundred 2-minute videos that I recommend watching at least one. It's really amusing to watch. It's really interesting, and they have upwards of 30,000 onlookers at these events. So it's not just a little folk festival type thing. They've got thousands of people watching this, and so I looked up and found that there are actually a few simple rules to this. It's not simply bring your device and your pumpkin and just see how far it goes. There are actually some rules. And so the pumpkin must weigh between 8 and 10 pounds. So it can't be a super, super light pumpkin, and it can't be super heavy. So there's a weight limit for it, or weight range. All pumpkins fired must remain intact until they impact the ground to obtain an official measurement. So if your pumpkin explodes on launch, then that's an invalid shot, and your measurement is not counted. Even if part of that pumpkin goes, I guess, farther than 5,000 something feet, it would not count.
So insane.
No part of the machine or the chucker shall pass the firing line, so they'll literally set up a line that you have to set up your machine behind. So if it's a catapult, obviously the mechanism's going to come forward to shoot. It can't go past the firing line, so you have to kind of keep that into account, that when you're shooting, the follow-through of the machine can't go over the firing line. Otherwise, it voids your shot. You can't use wadding in the machines, like straw, foam, metal, or any other object to kind of help build up pressure. It's truly whatever you have and your pumpkin. That's it. You can't use any explosives.
Bro, I want to blow up this thing.
And the machines, the chuckers can have either springs, rubber cords, counterweights, compressed air, or any other device that use the stored power of one human being. So in other words, they can have, I've seen some crazy catapult-type contraptions that involve somebody running back as far as they can, stretching a rubber cord and spring combination, and then when they run as far as they can, they're then shot backward into like a mattress, and the force from that shoots the pumpkin.
That's insane.
Now that's probably not going to win any records, right? But it's certainly interesting.
Fun to watch, I'd say. Good for the sport overall.
And there's another last interesting fact here. There are different divisions and classes for this competition. There's air cannon, centrifuge, catapult, human power only, trebuchet, theatrical, and torsion divisions. And the competition is divided into 3 classes: adult, youth, and so adult 18 and older, youth 11 to 17, and youth under age 10.
Do they got dudes out here throwing pumpkins? Like, is that what the human-powered one is?
Similar to what I was talking about before, where they are running or doing something with their body weight that then propels the force of that, propels the pumpkin forward. It's very interesting.
I'd just throw it.
I recommend watching, and depending on the budget, the pumpkin chucker can cost anywhere up to $50,000. But a lot of people actually don't pay a single thing. It's free. They completely build it out of scrap metal and other spare materials that they find. So it's really interesting to watch. I highly recommend looking up some YouTube videos of it. I don't have any on hand to show, but for any of our listeners out there, please just Google pumpkin chunkin' and watch some videos. It is hilarious.
Sounds good.
And drink some pumpkin spice.
Oh, for sure.
Aaron, what do you got, bro?
Yeah.
I got quite the sport for you fellas.
Let's hear it.
This one is called wife carrying.
Oh, I've heard of this!
Yeah, so it started in Finland, in a city I can't pronounce, because there's a lot of weird accents. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, that's what Finnish sounds like.
Hey, cool it.
Whoa.
Look, we're going to get demonetized.
So the premise of wife carrying is that you carry your wife or your neighbors. Only you got 2 options there. You can't be some random like.
It has to be a neighbor or your wife.
Yeah,
wow.
or your neighbor's wife or something like that.
Sure.
Over 17 years of age, of course.
17.
Important there. Important. Now, and they have to weigh.
Is the age of consent there 17? Finland.
What if you had a situation where someone attempted to marry someone that was younger than 17 years of age for the sole purpose of participating in the
that's
wife
why they have
carry?
the rule.
Here's the thing. There's also a weight requirement. So
sure.
they have to
Making me
weigh
good.
7.7 stone, which is about 110 pounds.
Okay.
That's how you know it's a foreign sport when they measure the weight in stone.
Stones.
Yeah.
Stones?
Come on, bro.
What
You
the-
gotta weigh as much
Finland
as
is-
7 stones.
So you have to carry them across a track of 253.5 meters.
So specific.
And so it's sort of like an obstacle course. There's like water areas which goes up to 1 meter deep. It says the track also has 2 dry obstacles. There's like things you climb up and over and like sandy parts too. And it's like it's done sort of like a track meet, like in heats. So like they'll pop the gun and then two different contestants will go. So they'll sort of like situate it so that like the faster people will go together. So it kind of it gets competitive, and then the prize is the wife's weight in beer. So really, it would be more strategic in the long run to carry a heavier wife than a lighter
And
one.
increase the prize.
Exactly.
There.
Yeah.
Europe be wild then.
Bro, you just carry your neighbor's wife who's like a little bigger than your wife, and then you just give him like a little bit of the beer.
Well,
Like that seems like the strat.
Then you're losing out on some beer,
Why is
though,
this
so you may as well just carry
specific?
your wife.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
You're right.
Assuming your wife is weighs
That's insane. So how often do they? Is this like a yearly?
Yeah, it's a yearly thing. There's world champions.
Wow.
This year was in Lithuania,
Wow.
and this guy got 66.7 seconds of carrying a 110-pound woman 250 meters.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, that's honestly really impressive, and through
Yeah.
water and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do it all over Europe. It looks like mainly Finland, Russia, and Lithuania, and Estonia. So yeah, pretty interesting. I'd like to participate in this at some point in my life.
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah,
good bonding
Do
experience.
they have
for
that
my
like in
neighbor's wife.
America?
Yeah,
I mean, we could bring it to America.
Yeah, we could.
True.
Yeah.
Willing to marry wife carrying.
Wife carrying.
Roommate carrying.
Intramural wife carrying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, that'd be kind of easy.
I do have one bonus sport for you all, and this I think, unless anyone has any other sport, this will be the last sport. It's more of it's a yearly competition. I think it falls in line with the Ethan Dewald's what was it? The pumpkin chunkin'. So this is the Cooper's Hill cheese rolling and
Oh
wing.
my god, I love cheese rolling.
I don't know if so I'm pretty sure some of you guys have seen this before, but this event provides some of the best like video content I believe is available on the internet.
It's gotta be close.
So basically what the competition is, it's in on the spring bank holiday at Cooper's Hill near Gloucester in England, right? So basically what you do is there are 7 to 9 pounds of 7 to 9 pounds round of double Gloucester cheese is set to roll down this hill. It's this big ass hill, like this huge grassy, like if it's rain, like it'll be muddy sometimes, but just huge hill, and the cheese is rolling, and then not only does the cheese roll, there are the people roll. So they literally like the contestants. They start at the top of the hill with the cheese, and when the cheese gets rolled, they also commence themselves down the hill. And you just see them just like falling over themselves, like running and just like, just like flipping over. And it's a race to get to the bottom. And basically, the winner of the competition gets all the cheese.
Oh, that's a bad.
You see, this is the thing. I'm pretty sure you also get cheese that has not been rolled down the hill.
Oh, yeah, I believe so.
Well, it's in the Rhine still, right?
Yeah, for sure. It should be still in the Rhine, so it should be fine. But
I don't know if
this
I
is a
want that.
big competition. This since 2010, the event has taken place spontaneously without like huge management. But there used to be like a governing body of cheese rolling before that. But now they just go for it, and it's definitely the funniest thing ever. It's a huge spectacle too. Like, there are cameras everywhere. There are people lined up and down the sides. I've seen instances where the contestants like are rolling down the hill and they just hit some of the audience members off the sides. It's a wacky sport.
Hospital's got to be pretty busy after.
They
this
definitely gotta be, because it's a big hill and there are definitely a lot of injuries that happen.
Imagine if you like roll over a piece of cheese that's like fallen over and isn't rolling anymore. Like, ouch.
Yeah. One of the former winners of the event actually said, they talked about like, the culture of the event and how there isn't like a governing body anymore, but no one's going to stop us doing it. They say it's not official, but we're all Brockworth people, we're all Brockworth people, and we're running the cheese today, so it's official. We strongly believe in it. So I think that's badass that, they're the cheese runners, they're the cheese rollers, and nothing's going to stop them. So definitely keep an eye out for that. That is something I have most definitely seen on like Top 10 on SportsCenter. ESPN The Ocho is probably a big fan of the event.
Is that coming up soon?
The Ocho? That just happened. Oh, yeah.
This does it happen yearly?
That's a good
I
question.
feel like it's in the spring.
Yeah, I do believe it's in this.
So I gotta mark
They
my
have
calendars.
So they have one that's right near. Like they have one right after the New Year, like during the winter. But it usually happens sometime in the spring. They usually like pick a weekend and go for it.
Yeah.
Then it's a community event, so it's kind of like decided on when everyone's free.
Yeah, I kind of feel like having the cheese roll this week.
Yeah, big time. So yeah, that's those have been our wacky sports, our wild sports. If you guys know of any other crazy sports they haven't talked about, one of my personal favorites is Hedis, which is like where you can jump on the ping pong table and play with like a soccer ball kind of situation. Whatever comes to mind there, just hit us up on Instagram. Tell us about it. We'd love to learn, and we hope that you guys have enjoyed listening to these wacky sports. I've been joined by
Aaron Jaffe.
Ethan Dewald.
Brandon LaRocco.
Dylan Wolfson.
And Joy Boy.
And I'm Abhishek Goel. We'll see you next week. Take it easy.